Welcome. This is the Zoom meeting of the math faculty here. We want to just take an opportunity to describe some of our programs to you. Let me first introduce everyone. I'm Blaine Carroll. I'm the chair of the Department of Mathematical Sciences, professor of mathematics. We also have with us Dr. Deborah Gladden, and she is also a professor of mathematics. Dr. Laura Singletary kind of heads up our math education area. Professor Jennifer Minutolo, who is kind of going to be leading our brand new computer science program. We also have with us two students, Sam Gruber, who is a pre-engineering student or an engineering student. We'll talk about that in just a little bit more. And then Madison Mabe. And Madison is finishing the requirements for mathematics and for mathematics education. So those students will be able to give you a little bit of that student experience and answer some questions that you might have there. Let me just give you a little bit of an overview of our department. We have multiple majors. One of those majors is mathematics, of course. We're Department of Mathematics. That's our first major, I guess, if you want to say it that way. We've got a lot of very good success. We have a lot of success with our mathematics program. We've got students that are going to graduate school, students that are taking jobs in industry that are really, really successful with our mathematics program. We also have a major in mathematics education. So if you're interested in teaching mathematics at the high school level, that would be the path for you, mathematics education. We also have a degree in actuarial science, and although we don't have any faculty here to specifically represent that area, I'm happy to talk about that. Actuarial science, really, we'll need some description about it. Most people are a little unfamiliar with it. It's a quantitative analysis of risk, probably the best simple description of it. That's a major that's used by a lot of government agencies, also used by a lot of insurance industries, where they want to look at data and be able to analyze what are the risks here, what are the potential fallouts of whatever decisions we might make. We also have a program in engineering. We don't have a specific engineering major that we house completely here. We do have opportunities for students to complete engineering majors by doing 3 years here at Lee and then doing 2 years at a partnering institution. So if you're interested in being an engineer, we have a path for you, and Sam will be able to talk a little bit more about that. And of course, I can answer questions that you might have too. And then brand new this year is a degree in computer science. And we do have a full major in computer science for folks who want to begin that starting in the fall of 20. Professor Minutolo will be able to head that up. So those are our 5 areas of concentration: pure math, math education, actuarial science, engineering, and then computer science. I'm just going to let each person go around and I'll start with Professor Gladden and just add a couple of things that she might want to talk about or enlighten you on. Dr. Gladden, what do you think? You're muted. I'm sorry.
I won't take too long, but I will mention just a few things. The first thing is, since I teach in mathematics, we do have, like Dr. Carroll said, quite a bit of success going on. We have several students who've gone on to graduate school, and we have lots of students who are going to work in industry. So it's a wonderful degree if you want to keep your door open, if you're not quite sure what you want to do with mathematics, but you know you're good at it and you enjoy it, and you're just trying to find where you fit. It's a wonderful degree to have at Lee. The other thing I will mention is that we offer wonderful opportunities for our students that you might not find elsewhere. One of the opportunities that we offer are the research opportunities that we have at Lee. We have courses that are specifically designated for research. such as the Introduction to Research course or courses that come after that. And we have professors that are willing to work with our students in research in various different areas of mathematics, whether it be applied mathematics or pure mathematics or math education or computer science or engineering. All of our professors really enjoy working with our students, and we've had some wonderful success with that as well. We have wonderful partnerships in the surrounding communities with our businesses and industry in the area, so that we also have a wonderful internship program. So we've worked very hard to supply you with some opportunities that you might not otherwise see.
Thank you, Dr. Fladden. Professor Minutolo, can you give us some idea about the new computer science major?
Yes, so we're very excited to be able to offer this new major to many of you. Lee has had the degree in computer information systems for quite a while. That degree tends to be more on applying ideas of computers and computer science. And so we are now bringing in this major for computer science, which is going to be a little more on the theory side and build you up with your mathematics, which is a heavy topic in computer science, but also explore all the different areas of computer science. It's one of the fastest growing fields right now, up and coming. There's a large demand for jobs out there for computer scientists, anywhere from network managers, data analysts, software engineers, database management, all of those kinds of things. And so we'll explore lots of programming, but it is not just programming. We'll look at different areas of computer science as far as data structures, algorithm analysis, artificial intelligence, machine learning, Internet of Things, lots of different areas and fields where computer science is up and coming. And so we're excited to be able to offer this now.
Thanks, Professor Minutolo. Dr. Singletary, tell us a little bit about mathematics education, if you will.
Of course. Our mathematics education students, I believe, are some of the best students I could ever imagine. They are passionate and caring, and we have several opportunities for them that help them take what they're learning in the classroom, whether it's mathematics or their educational theories, and put them into practice. So for example, we have students who have done research projects in mathematics education, learning more about how students learn to prove mathematics. And so we have students thinking very deeply about how students are reasoning mathematically. And we've had our students go on to share their findings at conferences, whether they're national conferences like the Mathematical Association of America's conference, or we've even had students publish their findings as they have studied students' learning. We have opportunities for our students as well to do practicum in teaching experiences, which give them opportunities to work with a professor in individual classes and connect with students leading homework recitations and engaging with students in a very personal and interactive way as they begin to hone their skills and pedagogical talents to see how they can work with students and serve them well. And we also have students that go off and win awards for their teaching. One of our recent graduates recently was named Chattanooga Educator of the Month, for example, and has done beautiful things at a charter school there. We've also had graduates go on to win awards such as the Presidential Award for Excellence in Mathematics and Science Teaching. So we have lots of opportunities for our students to engage with students before student teaching, to learn their mathematics and pedagogical skills well, and go out and kind of change the world through teaching one student at a time.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to take the opportunity to just a little bit describe our actuarial science program a little more, and then describe the opportunities that we have in engineering a little bit better. And then we'll get to our students who are probably ready to jump in and give some comments. So let me start with actuarial science. Actuarial science is a degree, like I said, that is used by a lot of different businesses. The insurance industry relies heavily on actuarial scientists to set rates and do the analysis of risk. We have a degree in mathematics with an emphasis in actuarial science. It's not a degree in actuarial science, but to be an actuary, you don't need a degree in actuarial science. Mathematics degree is fine. The Society of Actuaries really wants you to be able to pass a whole series of exams. And we are very happy to prepare those students to take at least the first 2 exams right now. The probability exam is one that's probably one of the first ones that a student will take. And then the financial mathematics exam. And then there's an exam on statistics. There are several exams which are really not intended to be taken until you've already started working as an actuary for a long time. So there's a lot of those that are part of that series of 10. But essentially, if you have a good, solid mathematics background that you would get at Lee, and you're interested in that area, then there are opportunities for you to do that. Actuarial scientists are consistently rated among the top 2 or 3 professions in the United States. Sometimes it's 1, sometimes it's 2. Rarely does it fall below to 3. Well, by whatever this particular survey says, as far as compensation and stress. So a lot of reward, and not particularly, I mean, you might make more as a neurosurgeon or something, but there's a lot of stress involved in being a neurosurgeon. But if you balance those two, actuarial sciences is generally in the top 2 or 3, always, consistently. And let me talk a little bit now just about our opportunities in engineering. Several years ago, we started a 3-2 program with Tennessee Technological University, where we would do 3 years at Lee University, completing the general core requirements, completing the things that make us who we are, our Bible, our Bible core, our global perspectives. And so the students can really get that Lee experience in those first 3 years and really be a Lee University student. And I'll let Sam talk a little bit about this. He's kind of right in the middle of that right now. We want those students to get that Lee experience, but we teach really well. We don't have the high fancy labs where, that other schools will have. Where we are very happy to teach those foundational mathematics courses, Calc 1, Calc 2, Calc 3, linear algebra, differential equations, the basic physics courses, Physics 1, Physics 2, and then those engineering courses that are standard across pretty much every discipline: statics, dynamics, mechanics and materials, fluid flow, heat transfer, those sorts of things. Professor Minutolo's husband is actually the lead engineering professor here, the other Professor Minutolo. But you could tell them apart. She's pretty. He's they're both good people. So anyway, he's the lead person on that. And so we have that opportunity for you to do 3 years at Lee, get that Lee experience, and then go on and do the final 2 years at a partnering institution. We began with Tennessee Tech. We also now have University of Tennessee Chattanooga on board. We're going to be seeking other partnerships. Most notably, the next one on board is probably University of Tennessee Knoxville, to do those 3-2, and then finish those 2 second years, the last 2 years, where you're just taking the engineering degrees that you would want, engineering courses that you would want to finish your degree. And we are very confident that you can do that in 2 years, provided you want one of the standard, most popular engineering degrees. If you want a little bit more specialized one, you might need a little bit longer than 2 years. But for civil engineering, electrical engineering, chemical engineering, mechanical engineering, we are very confident that with an additional 2 years at that partnering institution, you can complete that degree. We also have an opportunity for students who might want to go ahead and finish a Lee degree and do 4 years here. You'd essentially do those same courses, but you would complete some other courses as well and complete your 120 hours that you would have to do. And then if you still wanted to be an engineer, that's fine. My son is actually doing that, getting 4 years at Lee and then going on to finish a civil engineering degree. He will start at Tennessee Tech in the fall. But we would have a degree in mathematics with a minor in engineering science. So we would lump all of those sort of required engineering courses together for you, give that engineering science minor that we would then offer to that student. Still well prepared to go on in a couple of years and finish a second degree in engineering. We've got some success in that as well. We've got students who are doing graduate work both at the master's and PhD level in engineering right now, and then we've got a couple that are going on to get their second undergraduate degree in engineering so that they can actually be engineers out in the field. So that's really a detailed description of all 5 of our programs. But I do want to point out a couple of things that all the professors have mentioned here, and I'll let the students comment on this. We really do have an opportunity for you to get in and engage with faculty one-on-one. If you want the opportunity to really work and really work closely with faculty members, we are definitely here for you. That's one of the things that we love to do. We love it when students show that deep level of interest and want to kind of hang out in our office or in the office suite, hang out with each other and talk about things. Stick their head in and ask a professor a question. That's where we live. That's what gets our mojo going, so to speak. Madison, why don't you go ahead and tell us from the student side, what do you think about your experiences in the math department here?
Hey, yeah. So I started as just a math education major. I thought that, that was definitely what I wanted to do, 110%. But as I started diving into my math classes and getting more interested and getting into all of the deeper level math, I decided that I kind of wanted to add on the math major just to make sure that my doors were wide open. I was kind of I kind of reached the point that Dr. Gladden was talking about, or I just didn't know. And I was like, I love all math. I have no idea what I'm doing. So I've taken everywhere from applied math to pure math to math education courses. And I've done the research class that Dr. Gladden and Dr. Singletary lead that they've talked about. I'm currently in a directed study with Dr. Carroll, which means that you meet with a couple of other students one-on-one with your professor, which I really enjoy as well. It's just one of those deeper learning where I wanted to know more about a course that I was really interested in. And I've also, I've been that student that's just popped my head in and been like, hey, you got a minute to talk about something? It might not even be your class, but I just need some help. And they're always the first people to be like, absolutely, yes, what can I do? How can I help? And so I think that that's just one of the special things about Lee that you get, because you might have heard all of these things and said, I cannot do it all. But I'm one to say that I have dipped my toe in every single bucket in the math department, and I've been able to accomplish pretty much everything that they've talked about within my major, as far as research, directed studies, things like that go. You are able to accomplish it all at Lee if you have a passion for it and you really love it. And so that's one of the things that I've been able to enjoy and been able to do. And you just get to get really close with your professors since the class size is a little bit smaller at Lee. And so that's one of the things that I've really enjoyed. I'm not saying it's easy. It's going to be challenging, but the challenge is worth it because you learn so much in your classes. I've learned so much in all of the classes that have challenged me. I think that's the most important thing. Because if it's easy, then you don't need to be doing it. Dr. Gladden always says, if you're not having fun, you're not doing it right. And I've come to find out that's very much true. So,
Sam, what do you think, Sam?
when I came to Lee, I didn't know what I wanted to be my major, but I started out in Calc 1 that fall semester, and I did not expect to fall in love with it so hard. And that only is purely because Dr. Gladden was my professor, and then throughout taking Calc 1 and then Calc 2 and then going on, the professors care a lot about your passion, and they showed their passion through the way they teach. And so I came from where I didn't know what I enjoyed to a place where professors actively seek out helping you find what you're passionate about, and are also passionate about you learning that in the best way possible. And so because of just those two aspects right there, I've been shown opportunities and achieved opportunities, because at any day at the SMC, I can be 10 feet away from the head of the math department's office or the head of the engineering, all those classes. I can just pop in, ask a question. And another thing that happens is sometimes you don't even ask the question. They see you're working on something and then recognize that you need help even if you didn't ask for it. And then you're like, oh my goodness, I couldn't be anywhere without this community and all this help that is just provided for me that you don't even recognize it there a lot of the time. And with the engineering side of things, I really enjoyed the applied math parts of calculus and then the physics classes that I've been taking. But I wasn't certain if I wanted to go on a career, like immediately I want to go be a civil engineer. So I wanted to do 3-2. So, and I wasn't, like Dr. Gladden said, you don't have to have everything figured out. And so you can go the 4-year route or the 3 and 2 if you really figure that out. But I haven't figured out exactly what I want to go yet. So if you just find the passion and follow each opportunity you go, it's going to turn out fine. And I've got friends that are going to get a PhD after doing 4 years here. I've got other close friends that figured out they want to do the 3 and the 2. And just because they follow those two things of being a lot, searching for their passions and then allowing their curiosity to flow through the teaching that's going on in the one-on-one in the close environment, no matter which direction you go, it'll be fine. I think that's a good summary.
I suppose I need to unmute myself if I want to say something. Madison and Sam are both Ledford scholars this summer, and so they're going to be doing some work this summer with some faculty members, and we're very proud of them. But we've got a lot of great students. We got a lot of opportunities here as we've been discussed. I did want to talk just a little bit about the majors that we have as far as what you can do with them. They're probably, we've talked about a little bit about, obviously if you're going to be an engineer, we know what you kind of do there. Dr. Gladden mentioned some things that you can do with mathematics. Dr. Singletary mentioned things you can do with math ed. Professor Manutolo with computer science, and of course actuarial science we went into. So you can do all of those things, and you don't need a Lee mathematics degree to do those things. So if you're sold on math, great. We really want you to hopefully get the idea about what you're going to get that's unique to Lee, the experience that you're going to get from Lee. You're going to get those caring faculty members who will take you under their wing. And we are a very intentionally Christian university. So you're going to get a great math education. We're going to give you what you need as far as being able to go out there and compete with anyone else from any other university across the country. But you're going to get it in an environment where the professors are caring about you, not just your academic success, but your personal success, your spiritual development. We want you to grow into really good people, and we're going to give you those opportunities, and we're going to sort of do everything that we can to lead you into those paths. So, if you're thinking about Lee, check us out. Give us a call. Give us an email. Send us something. We're gonna respond to you. We're gonna get back to you. We'd love to have you here. Anyone else want to say anything about the Lee experience? And now also, I will say this, besides our 2 students, we have our 3 faculty members, myself excluded, who are all Lee alums. So they can all give you that student experience from Lee. So just jump right in, whoever might want to say something.
Well, I'll say that I enjoyed Lee University so much after being a student here that I decided to come back and invest the rest of my life in here as a career. So it is a wonderful place. I couldn't imagine a better job, a more fulfilling place to work, and better people, both faculty, staff, and students to work around. It's wonderful, and I love it. And I'll also further add that I was a first generation college student when I came to Lee, and I had no clue what a PhD in math was. I didn't even know it was a real thing, that was something you could do with your life. So to me, I'm very grateful that the professors take time to kind of speak into your life, and they see what you're good at, and they tell you that, and beyond telling you that, they support you in reaching goals that maybe you don't even know what those goals are going to be right now. So it's just been wonderful. It's been life-changing for me to be a part of Lee.
We're almost out of time here, but anybody else want to add to that with what your Lee experience was?
I think sometimes it can be scary to decide what you want to do and where you want to go. But I do know that if you're on the fence with being in math and you have a lot of other interests, just know that, you're able to explore those different interests. Like I am a math major, and I do have a lot of science major friends that are also involved in Greek clubs and sports and choirs. Just because you're in this really challenging major doesn't mean that you don't have an opportunity to get connected at Lee and do other things. There's lots of other things to get involved in, and there's lots of things to do, and you're not too busy to not be involved in those things. You just got to balance and make sure that you're balancing your time and things like that. But you can get involved, and there's lots of things to do in lots of ways to get connected with people in your hall and your dorms, and lots of things like that. And just the community is just great. Everybody is just so nice and so sweet and so welcoming. So you definitely would find your place at Lee.
Thank you, Madison. Anyone else? Well, thank you all for participating in this. We certainly appreciate it. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. You can find my information at Lee's website, but if you want to think about it, it's just B Carroll, B as in boy, Carroll, 2 R's, 2 L's, at leeuniversity.edu. And I will either answer your question directly or get it into the hands of someone who can answer it a little better than I can. Thank you all for being here with us today, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.